Sean, thanks. Bluestockings, this is great. So I'm going to do a similar thing to MG and read the expository piece that where I was on 9/11. It sort of explains the rest. In my first year as a public school attendee in second grade, I lived in Queens and I went on a school field trip to the World Trade Center on the day of the first World Trade Center bombing. Once the bomb went off, we were escorted onto the roof of the tower for hours. I specifically remember a teacher telling us while helicopters hovered overhead and snow fell on our faces that there was a concession that had burnt a hamburger and caught fire. We descended 100 flights of stairs in the dark and met camera flashes on the street and crying parents and soot-filled ears in the school lobby. By the time 9/11 happened, my family had moved in hopes of a better life, direct effect of terrorism free. I was in high school at the time on Long Island, so I was there roaming the fairly barren hall during an early period. A classmate told me to go downstairs to a classroom with a television. A plane crashed into the World Trade Center. My town is a mere 20 miles from Manhattan, and one of its suburban perks is a super-fast, white-collar commute to the financial capital of the world. I remember watching this TV through the classroom window, seeing what looks like a Roman candle lit, incorrectly, overlit, before I could register that a plane had caused the damage, and while people were speculating if it was an accident, I watched the other plane soar onto the side of the television screen and plow through the second tower. After that, I remember every door of the school being open, silence and the strangely beautiful day out. I remember the busy signal as I tried to call my father, who worked a block away from the towers. I remember my friends thinking family members were dead. I remember the loudspeaker that droned periodically, updating, advising normalcy. I went to next period chemistry class, and I will forever remember how insignificant learning how to light a Bunsen burner was. The chemistry teacher left the room intermittently to get updated on the whereabouts of a friend. We all went to our lab station, squeezing the spark lighter, mindlessly, waiting for the gasoline to catch flame. After that period concluded, the hallways were silent except for the people hysterical on their phones or roaming aimlessly, blank-faced. Next period seemed impossible. I remember just walking out of the school, which every open door invited me to do. I walked home through town, every storefront's door open, quiet inside except for radio reports. I think that is what I remember most about that day, open doors. I didn't hear from my father until late into the evening. He was fine. He hadn't gone down to the office just yet. A lot of my friends weren't as lucky. For weeks afterwards, smoke plumes loomed above us, unpreventable. The wind carried them towards us. And I'll read the poem I wrote in second grade. I was in second grade, but the other poem, it's a concrete poem or more visual, so I guess maybe take a peek at the book to see what it's about. It's called The Snowflakes and the Tower. It was a dark and snowy day. There was no time to delay. We had to go outside. It was smoky, inside the tower that was mostly filled with fire and smoke. We waited and waited until a helicopter came with our thrill and blew the snow in our face. When I turned to look, I saw two snowflakes that took my breath away. Now these snowflakes were not just any two snowflakes. They looked like crystal shining my way. They looked like angels' wings and shining white rings that glow in the mist. It's like a gift for me to treasure forever and ever until I pass away. Oh, those two snowflakes, they're not just any two snowflakes. They're as beautiful as a snowflake could be. Those two snowflakes, I'd make money with those two snowflakes just so people could see. I wish those two snowflakes had not melted away so I could keep them safe until May. My second-year-old self, or second grade self, thanks you. So this is a poem. I work at a hedge fund now, actually. So this is still war-related, I'd say, because I don't really want to be there. And I work in Manhattan, and I'm in a skyscraper, so. And it's called loss harvesting, which is a financial term, and you just sort of pool all your losses together. And now there is yesterday, and somehow every moment must be authentic. I bought a suit 6 months ago, and I'm still wearing it. There was a short, there is a hedge. Uncertainty, like any unruly cadaver, creeps this way, then that. So I thought the leaves off the trees, I thought them green, then amber, then loose, then falling. Petrified and falling slowly, cotton in the mouth, the two of us fell down half a flight of stairs at the same time, the ticker told me. The siren sounded and the men ran. Neither had anything to do with each other. It must have just been coincidence that linked them together, to me. There is no us except when we were falling. There is nothing authentic about coincidence except for the promise of one. Like aversion therapy, like the woman who said, I don't know how I keep ending up in Midtown, like the piano player in the marble lobby, cascading her fingers for the rush of it. Thanks.